So today we got a question from Wade, who says he has a question that I've probably answered 1,000 times, but he asks it anyway. He says, at what point did you find that your game went to that next level, that really it started to elevate to that next level? And what did you do to adjust your mindset to continue to persevere? He says that he's a 3-stripe white belt currently, trains about 4 to 5 days a week, and he says that right now he's rolling with a lot of the blue belts and people that are about to be blue belt, and he gets his butt handed to him. Like, right, they just kick his butt left and right. And so he's wondering, he says he doesn't get discouraged because he knows it's all a part of the process, but he's wondering, is there something that I can do to get to that next level so that maybe I can be doing the butt kicking? And so that is his message to me. When did my game go to the next level? What did I do to continue to persevere? So, brother, thank you for the question. So let's flip it around. Let's talk about what I did as far as mindset to persevere. Something to understand about who I was getting into grappling. I started wrestling in high school, as you may know from watching the videos. And when I got into wrestling in high school, I had this much confidence in myself. I didn't believe in myself. And my bar that I set was super low. Wasn't up here, it was down here. I didn't expect anything from myself. I was just training because I liked working out with the guys. That was one of the big reasons. I just liked being in that group. I felt like I was a part of something, and that felt really good. I liked being a part of that close-knit environment, and so I liked training. I was getting my butt handed to me all day long on the wrestling mat, but I liked being there. And then when I was working out, I started losing weight. I was like, oh, I like this. I like losing weight, so I was having fun with this. And I loved those days of just being sweaty and laying up, and you could see the steam coming off of your body. I love those days. I still love those days. And so that was the real reason I was training. I really had no intentions of ever doing anything with it. And then somewhere along the line, I got better, like a lot better, like way better than I ever expected in wrestling, and started winning matches, and I was like good at it. I was winning medals and tournaments and all that kind of stuff. Well, in jiu-jitsu, it was very much the same way. When I came into jiu-jitsu, initially, I had kind of like high hopes. I was like, I remember walking in the very first day, I'm probably going to be a blue belt, is what I thought. I get in there, I got smoked by everybody, crushed by everybody. But that same sort of vibe, that same close-knit vibe, that same sweaty vibe of laying there afterwards being like, oh, I'm so tired, right? That was still there. So I was like, you know what? Sign me up. I'm here. I like this. This is what I want to do. I want to get back to grappling. I like this whole thing. Yes, I got my butt kicked, but I'm glad I did because that means I've got room to grow. And I also had felt the difference in wrestling where I understood I was going to have to pay my dues. Because in wrestling, I got better after several years, and I knew in jiu-jitsu it was going to be the same sort of thing that was going to happen. And so that was my mindset. My mindset was not one of, I was not worried about the result. I was worried about the process. I just enjoyed the moment-to-moment training. That was what I enjoyed. Now, there were times where I got frustrated with myself. There were times where when I competed that I would set expectations. But generally speaking, I never had intentions of getting a belt. I never thought I would even be a blue belt, to be honest with you, when I first started. I never thought I was going to be a coach. I never thought I was going to be a gym owner. I never thought any of that stuff. That stuff became as a byproduct of what I was doing. I just loved training. And so that was the first thing. That was what helped me persevere because I got smashed every single day and I just didn't care. I just went on and just kept on my way and kept doing it. Now, as far as when my game went to the next level, I remember my wrestling coach saying something to me, and this has continued to be true for jiu-jitsu, which is, you're not going to be able to explain why, but there's like one day you're going to be on the mats and ding, the light bulb's going to go off in your head, and you're going to have this aha moment where all of a sudden, for whatever reason, things have aligned themselves to a degree where now you can do these moves that you couldn't do last week, you can beat people that you couldn't beat last week, and you feel more knowledgeable than you used to feel, and you can't explain why. This is kind of what happens with jiu-jitsu and grappling a lot of times where you're going to keep training, and you might even feel like you're just running into a wall, and then one day you're going to come back, and then, oh man, I felt great. Like Bob was kicking my butt yesterday, but now I'm kicking Bob's butt. Whoa, that's surprising, right? And so, to get to your question, what I would say to you as far as like you're training, you said 4 to 5 days a week, and if you're taking care of your body, dieting, strength training, sleeping, doing all the things you need to do, there's really nothing else you can do, man. You just got to put in that time. Because, and this is something I think is beautiful, especially in the day and age that we live in, because we live in the day and age of a bunch of fakers. I mean, granted, there's always been fakers. There's always been like, what would they call them, like the snake oil salesman, right? Trying to sell you bull crap. But like, we live in an age where, like, for instance, people get on, they'll go rent a car or in a house, and they'll put it up on Instagram like they own it. There'll be this fake influencer bull crap, right? But when you're rolling, you can't fake it. So you could walk in with a black belt on your waist, but you and I roll, I'll quickly find out if you're a real black belt, right? Because we roll. That's truth. There's no way to get around that. Right? That's real. And so that's the beautiful thing about it. You've got to pay your dues. Yes, you're getting your butt kicked, but once you get past this hump, Wade, once you get past this little sticky part and you get to the other side of it, and you now have a pretty good amount of skill where you're pretty reasonably like good at jiu-jitsu, when you get to that point, no one can take that away from you. And that's something where, again, it's something special because you can't just walk in and get it. You have to earn it. And so it's a beautiful thing. And so again, right now, what I would say as far as mindset to persevere, make your mindset focused on the process and find a reason to enjoy the process. I tell my students, you got to find a reason here that makes you want to train. It can't be the external. It has to be right here. It has to be a reason where it doesn't matter what happens, whether you win, lose, whether you're competing, whether you're not competing, whatever, you find a reason that makes you want to train. You get that, everything else will fall into play. And don't be worried about the end result, about you kicking someone else's butt or about them kicking your butt. Just make it about the actual training itself. You can get that, everything else will fall into play. And so yeah, that's that. So that is the answer to your questions, at least the ones that I have for you right now, Wade. Hopefully that's useful to you, brother. Keep training. You're doing the right thing. It's just taking a little bit of time to take, right? That's the whole thing. Because again, one thing to reiterate is that you could train the exact same amount of time as someone else and they could have wildly different results. And that doesn't mean you're doing the wrong thing. It just means it's just taking a different amount of time than it does for them. Just the way it is, right? We're all a little different. So just maintain your course, keep training. Find that reason that you like training that makes you want to train day in, day out, and you'll be good. So that's my answer to your question, brother. I'll talk to you guys next time.